Alright YouTube, what is good? It is your boy MP and we're back with another video today, bro. Now what I got for you guys today is a reaction video to the rankings of every mainline Mario game ever released. So if you like this reaction, like, comment, subscribe, and stay alert, stay posted, stay aware of anything I add to the channel, man. Whether it's videos like this, reaction videos, or game content, or etc. Today we're going to be reacting to, as I said before, we're going to be reacting to every mainline Mario game ever released, ranked from, I'm assuming, worst to best. And this video is by SwitchStop. So yeah, without that being said, let's get to the video here. Alright y'all, now before we get to this video here, I have a couple things I want to say, or not really say, a couple of predictions, at least top three. In terms of mainline Mario games, my personal top three is Odyssey, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Not in like any order, just like I'm just like naming 3 games here. So Wii, Odyssey, and Mario Galaxy 2. Now I know a lot of people like Mario Galaxy 1. It's no hate. Hopefully there's no hate in this video for Mario Galaxy. It's a great game, but I personally like Mario Galaxy 2 better. So hopefully those 3 games are in the top 3. I hope those games are in the top 3. But let's see what SwitchStop has to say. Let's see what he's talking about here.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder releases in a couple months, and it's looking like a massive shakeup to the series. Getting a new major Mario release is always a treat, but today I want to take a look back at the mainline Mario titles that have been released over the last several decades, and see how they hold up today, ranking them from the very worst to the best. But first, I want to clarify what constitutes a mainline Mario game. I'll keep it short, but if you want to skip to the ranking, there will be a timestamp in the description for that. I have a few rules for what belongs on this list, and spoiler alert, it's just kinda made up. Nintendo's never made an official list of mainline Mario games.
Alright. Okay, so I've made a video of covering the 40th anniversary of New Super Mario Bros. Just a couple of New Super Mario games that could be added to the 40th anniversary. If you're interested in that, check it out.
But there is a bit of community consensus. The first rule is that it has to be a Super Mario platform, part of the Super Mario series, and isn't a spin-off like Mario Kart or Mario Party. The second rule is that Mario has to be the main character. This might sound stupid, but Super Mario World 2 and Super Mario Land 3, those games are just Yoshi's Island and Wario Land games. They were clearly just given those
that's a legit concern, or a rule that you can have for this this ranking list. Yeah, if it's a Mario game or a New Super Mario Bros. Game, you should definitely have Mario as the main character.
Titles for marketing purposes, and it doesn't make any sense to include these games and not their sequels that play identically. And the third rule is that the game had to have released on a Nintendo console. Sorry Super Mario Run fans, but it doesn't seem fair to compare a mobile game to a full-priced title on actual Nintendo hardware.
Yo, I never played that game. I've heard of it, but I've never played that game on mobile. So for those who've played that game, let me know down in the comments how good it is, and I might check that out.
Next, no duplicates. This includes ports, remakes, collections, etc. It's just to keep this list at a reasonable length. Finally, I'm not including Mario Maker titles. I think it's completely fair to say these games are mainline since they have their own levels, story, and whatnot, but I want to take into account everything each game has to offer. And when a game has millions of levels, that's just not possible. You could argue it's the best Mario game because it has an infinite number of great levels. And you could argue that it's the worst Mario game since 90% of those levels were made by kids who don't understand level design. It's virtually impossible to try and find a fair place to put these games. games. The last thing I want to say really quickly is keep in mind that Mario games are pretty good. Basically, if you think a game you love is too low on this list, it's probably an amazing video game. I just think the other Mario titles offer more. But again, we're talking about Mario games. We're basically comparing the cream of the crop. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this list.
All right.
First up on this list is Super Mario Land. And honestly, this game is about what you'd expect it to be. The fact that it was released for the Game Boy is what ends up holding it back. It's simply due to hardware restraints. It's just a very simple Mario game, and you can't hate it for being the way it is, but it...
Yeah, Mario Land, Super Mario Land. Yeah, that's a fair criticism. Me personally, I probably would have it at the end of the list as well, for the same reason, because it's outdated. I'm pretty sure that it was dated for his time, but it's outdated now due to improvements, gameplay, excuse me, visually looks better. Games look better nowadays. Just yeah. Yeah, it's pretty outdated, bro.
Doesn't have enough depth
Definitely
to be
agree.
any higher on this list. Even with how short the game is, it still offers some interesting gameplay mechanics, like being able to fly in the plane or explore underwater in a submarine. But a lot of these levels are still forgettable. Making the final boss an alien instead of Bowser is also an interesting change of pace. In this game, actually introduced Princess Daisy to the Mario series. So overall, the game has a lot of charm, and it's cool that they tried to do something original even on the Game Boy. But the other games on this list are just plain better. Also, the overworld theme is kind of a bop for absolutely no reason. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is next, and I've got beef with this game. See, in Japan, this was their Super Mario Bros. 2. Nintendo thought the rest of the world couldn't handle the game's difficulty, so our Super Mario Bros. 2 was a completely different game, thus this game being rebranded to the Lost Levels when it made its way to the rest of the globe years after its release. While the game is definitely difficult, the level design is also just kind of flawed. It just feels like Nintendo decided that difficulty is inherently fun, and because of that, this game is evil. The first mushroom you see in the game actually kills you, and there are warp pipes that will reset you all the way back to worlds you've already been in. Sometimes this game feels like some awful troll level in Mario Maker, except it's a full-on Mario game developed by Nintendo themselves. Seriously, the difficulty isn't just making tight jumps or tough maneuvers, but you straight up get punished for exploring sometimes. The saving grace of this game is simply the fact that it uses the Super Mario Bros. Engine, also having levels that you can play after beating the game, which is a super neat addition. But that's about the only thing keeping this game from being the absolute worst on this list. Super Mario Land 2 is definitely an improvement over Super Mario Land, but it's still a Game Boy game. You can tell this game took inspiration from Super Mario World with how it has a massive connected overworld, and there's just so much creativity here. The game centers around 6 zones, and beating each final boss will give you the golden coin. The zones are pretty cool, each having their own unique theme. In the space zone, you actually fight against Tatanga, the final boss of the first Super Mario Land, which is a great throwback. After collecting all 6 coins, you return to Mario's castle that has been taken over by Wario, who you must defeat. Seeing an evil version of Mario at the time was probably a bit weird, but it's nice that Wario has become a staple of the Mario series since. So why is this game so low? Well, because the gameplay's...
My favorite character, my absolute favorite character, is Wario. Hands down.
Not that fun. It's just clunky, and I understand that that's because the limitations of the Game Boy, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. The carrot power-up is kind of neat, but it's also pretty broken. You can pretty much just spam the jump button to skip over any level, and honestly, with the way this game controls, I wouldn't blame you for doing so. And now we arrive to the game that started it all, Super Mario Bros. The fact that this game is so low isn't because it's bad, but it's a testament to how much Nintendo has expanded on this format since this game released. The game did so much not only for Mario, but also gaming in general, arguably saving the video game industry single-handedly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Super Mario Bros. Came out when I think I may be wrong about this, but 1985. Yeah, 1985. I think that is the year excuse me, that this game came out. So let's see the video game scene. the video game scene in the 80s. This is, mind you, this is before Mortal Kombat came out, before Street Fighter came out, before I could arguably say gun games were really popular, like Call of Duty or what are the good games? Shoot, let me search up here. Sorry, I had to do a little bit of research. So this was before gun games like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Yeah, just a completely different world at that point. This is like, I want to say right after the era of the Atari. Just literally a completely different game atmosphere in terms of culture of the video games and influence of them. The most influential game at that point was like, I want to say Pac-Man. And then Nintendo had released this game, and I believe, if I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. I believe this game was released in 1985. I'm not sure. I just did like a quick little research because I want to get back to the video here and see his ranking. But yeah, I definitely agree with his viewpoint and his argument being made for this game here.
And you can definitely see why. With its mechanics, power-ups, and level design, so many games have been inspired by this one. Even with its somewhat linear format, this game still offers every player a unique experience with several hidden secrets, like the warp pipe that lets you skip entire worlds. The core concept of this game is amazing, and Nintendo has been able to take this concept and run with it in recent years. But yeah, going back and playing this game after playing all the other Mario titles, it definitely has been improved on. Not being able to travel backwards in levels and going back to small Mario after getting hit no matter what power-up you have, those are definitely features that can stay in that time period. Super Mario Bros. 2. Yeah, this isn't even a Mario game. It's actually a reskin of a Famicom game called Doki Doki Panic. Earlier, I mentioned that the US got a different version of Mario 2 than Japan, and this is it. Honestly, it's kind of weird to think how iconic Mario enemies like Shy Guy and Birdo were not actually Mario characters to begin with. This might be the weirdest Mario game for that reason, but it's still a platform. I'm not sure about the choice of the turn-ups as a power-up, but I can't pretend like yeeting this at enemies isn't fun. I think the best thing this game offered was having 4 playable characters, each with their own abilities. We saw this return in 3D World, and it still holds up really well as a feature. Even with the main cast being replaced with Mario characters, Bowser sadly does not return in this game. Instead, we get Warp, this little frog-looking guy. And I'm not sure about him either, but don't worry, because it was all a dream. Oh yeah, they switched Birdo and Ostro's names in the credits. How can you make such an obvious mistake? Next up is the new Super Mario Bros. 2. This game's main gimmick was coins.
Oh, hell no!
And that's neat.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, not this fucking game, bro. Oh my god, not this fucking game. This fucking game, bro. I will always hate this game. Bro. So many things I can say about this game. Hated this game. You've heard me say this multiple times before in previous videos. Hated this game. Trash. Hated this damn game. When I got it, played it through it, did not like it. Did I complete the game? Yes. But did I like playing the game? Did I like the coin theme that they was going with? Gotta get 1,000,000 coins. No. Absolutely did not. Did not like this game. This game placement here on this ranking, I heavily agree with this. I think it should actually have went, I dare to say, even lower. Maybe.
I guess it just feels a bit oversaturated for the most part. Like,
yeah,
cool, I collect all these coins and now I get to collect even more of these coins.
That really was it. That was the main theme of this game, was just coins. I particularly found that annoying, but oh man.
After a while, it just kind of feels stale, and that's pretty much how the new Super Mario Bros. Series felt at this point. Despite having 2 in its name, this is actually the 3rd installment, and it's basically just more of the same. A lot of what this game tried to do had already been done recently. You have the same world format, same Koopalings, even bringing back the Tanuki Leaf. This had just been done in Super Mario 3D Land, so it simply didn't hit as hard. What even keeps it this high on the list is the fact that it's fun. I like running and jumping through levels and looking for hidden star coins, but unfortunately, it feels like junk food. The coin collecting stuff has its moments, but for the most part, it's not too satisfying. A lot of the marketing for this game would challenge you to collect 1 million coins, but at the end of the day, it's just an arbitrary large number. Speaking of arbitrary large numbers, if you're enjoying this video so far, consider subscribing. We have a rival channel called Wii U Stop, and look at their sub count. We have less subscribers, and every time I'm reminded of this—
Wait, hold on. Let me go back. Why did he mention another? Hold up.
Satisfying. A lot of the marketing for this game would challenge you to collect 1 million coins, but at the end of the day, it's just an arbitrary large number.
Okay.
Speaking of arbitrary large numbers, if you're enjoying this video so far, consider subscribing. We have a rival channel called Wii U Stop, and look at their sub count.
Really him. It's really him. You're a victim.
Here we go, see it?
Oh, okay. I don't. Congratulations. Cool for them. But the shade, man. Damn. Hopefully we saw this, bro. Crazy. Hopefully they got a response video to this. I might have to check that out on my own, see if they got a response video to this. This guy right here.
We have less subscribers, and every time I'm reminded of
Okay.
this, I cry myself to sleep. Look at me right now. So please consider subscribing so we can finally surpass them. It would mean the world to me.
Damn.
New Super Mario Bros. U is next, and
The shade. It's tough. It's crazy, bro. The shaded out of the channel. My God.
this is the same problem all over again. I could see arguing that this is the best new Soup game because it has the most content, but it doesn't do that much new stuff. Once again, it's more of the same. I mean, the baby Yoshis are cool and being a squirrel is funny and all, but this series was immeasurably stale at this point. This game released the same year as New Super Mario Bros. 2.
no, I don't think
Nobody
so.
was buying a Wii U just to play this game.
I don't know.
What? What world were you living on? I mean, at least for me, at least for my generation. Like, bro. What? Yeah, you stretch it with that take. That's a crazy take, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, I heavily disagree with that.
This game mainly beats Super Mario Bros. 2 because it has better multiplayer. Also, letting a 5th player use the stylus to create blocks was admittedly an interesting feature, but most of the time, the person behind the gamepad would become power hungry and start sabotaging everybody else. Perhaps the most interesting thing about this game was the challenges. Yeah, who remembers those? Let's
do.
move on.
12?
Super Mario
Okay.
3D Land was about
3D Land
exactly
over
what it
Wii-
needed to be.
over-
Nintendo
over
had
the
previously tried to port
Wii U?
Mario 64 to the DS, and it didn't control too
Land over Wii U? What? New Super Mario Bros. U is under Land? Land was alright, but better than U? I think U is a better game. Yeah. Yeah. He was doing good so far with these rankings, but Yeah, I don't know about that one, bro.
well. This was pretty much them learning from their mistakes. Because of that, this game is more linear than what most people would expect from a 3D Mario title. But I think they made the right choice here. It's still interesting, especially how it manages to revive old power-ups while introducing new ones. It also tried to implement the 3DS's 3D feature into some sections, but I don't think anyone actually used that. This is just a standard Mario platformer with simple level designs, and it works really well with its respective console. However, because they went with a safer option, it doesn't stand out too much as a Mario game, which is why it's stuck in the middle of this ranking. New Super Mario Bros. Believe it or not, this game was once actually considered a somewhat novel concept. At the time, this was the first 2D Mario platformer in over a decade. It had some great power-ups like the Mega Mushroom and the Blue Shell, and also a lot of fun level design choices. 2 of the worlds in this game are actually unlockable through beating a couple of bosses with mini mushrooms, which is a nice secret to have.
New Super Mario Bros. Love the game. One of my favorite games of all time. But not top 10. That game is top 10 at least. Maybe not top 5 or 4, top 2 or whatever, but this game should definitely, without question, be top 10. At least that's my opinion. That should be one of the best in terms of ranking for Mario games ever.
The coolest secret in this game, though, is that Luigi is playable, which I didn't even know until years after playing this game. When you've beaten the game, you can hold L and R and then click on your file to play as Green Mario himself. The minigames from Mario 64 make a return here too. I spent way too much time playing poker against Luigi as a kid. A kid that aged...
Oh man, oh man, yo. Oh man, y'all listen, bro. The OGs gotta be in the comment section for this one. I definitely remember playing too much poker with Luigi, bro. Oh my god, yo. Yeah, you had to be there. Yeah.
Should not be playing that much poker.
Yeah.
A lot of people would probably rank the original New Super Mario Bros. Over the Wii,
Super Mario Bros.
But
Wii.
I think that New Super Mario Bros. Wii is better. When this game came out, the series was...
Okay, yeah, we know it's better. Duh. We all know it's better than the Wii U. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is better than New Super Mario Bros. U, but like it is top 10, but 10 though? 10? Oh, bro. Man.
And didn't feel stale yet. What gives this game an edge over DS is that it has simultaneous multiplayer with up to 4 people. And it was the first mainline Mario game to do this. Having 4 players at once offered so much and made this game way more fun. No longer did you have to take turns with your little sibling or cousin or whatever. I'm not going to pretend like this wasn't absolutely chaotic at times, but...
Yo, who remembers 4 gameplay with just either your siblings or your friends, and just, yo, them levels with Yoshi, you get to be on Yoshi's back and just, oh my god, those are fun, especially when you have other players too to play. It's fun as hell, bro.
That's just part of the experience and fun. This game also brought back the Koopalings, which was at one point also a novel concept as well. And then Nintendo made them take up 7 character slots in Mario Kart 8, and we all hated them. Okay, having an NES title this high on the list might seem ridiculous, but I think Super Mario Bros. 3 genuinely earns its spot here. Since it was released later in the NES's lifespan, it heavily pushes the boundaries of that console, and it shows. So much of what you love about Mario originates from this game. Just look at the world map. Every world has its own theme, which is a core part of Mario.
Yeah, it's alright, but it's not better than, it damn sure ain't better than you or we. What? Like I said, bro, he was doing fine before with the placements, but now it's like, what are we doing, bro? What? This is,
games today. Honestly, Nintendo might have been more creative with the theming then than they are now. Just look at Giant Land, where everything is way bigger than Mario. This game also has amazing power-ups. Items like the Tanuki Leaf, Frog Suit, and Goomba Shoe are incredibly fun to use. It also has the Hammer Suit, which is frankly a massive waste of potential. It's only in a couple of levels, and Nintendo refuses to bring it back, even in Mario Maker. There's also items that you can use on the map, which makes the game fun to replay as you get a new experience every time. If you really want to, you can simply grab 2 warp whistles in World 1, go to World 2, and then immediately skip all the way to World 8, making this a great game to speedrun. It just feels like Mario 1 walked, so Mario 3 could run. And this game paved the way for Mario titles to soar. Super Mario Sunshine is so good, but it's also so weird. A lot of people say that this is a game you either love or hate, and while I don't think it's perfect, I don't know why anybody would hate.
It's okay, but over we and you, bro. What? You haven't even heard the galaxies yet. Oh my god, bro. I swear. Both galaxies better be top 5.
Hate it. It controls really well, and the camera is definitely an improvement over Mario 64. Flood does take a bit of time to get used to, but once you do get used to it, it becomes second nature and definitely adds to the experience. There's a lot of fun levels, some really cool boss fights, and Yoshi makes his first 3D appearance. I will say, this game is more linear than Mario 64 since you have to collect the 7 shines from every area. However, the thing people usually clown on this game for is its story, and like, at least they tried. Of course, it may be a bit silly, but it's also a Mario game. Like, I don't expect the highest quality when it comes to storytelling. I thought it was pretty cool. The voice acting was pretty bad, but you know, like I said, they tried. My 2 biggest gripes with this game are that some of the levels simply aren't very good, and blue coins just suck. Earlier,
So if it has all these issues, why is it better than the Wii? Why is it better than... Oh my god. If this game, Sunshine, has all these issues, then why is it better than Wii and New Super Mario Bros. U? Little confused here.
Raise the camera. And Nintendo decided to throw all that away when they made the pachinko level. Also, if you want to 100% this game, you need to collect 240 blue coins, and they're a massive pain to keep track of. It also doesn't help that some blue coins in certain areas will just straight up not spawn, depending on what shine you select. But fear not, because when you do 100% the game, you get a postcard. Neato. Alright, next is Super Mario Galaxy. And I already know a lot of you are gonna hate me for this. Simply put, Mario Galaxy is a beautiful game. Its story, the characters, the atmosphere, I understand why people love this game so much, but I don't think it's as fun as some of the other Mario games. Even though it's a 3D game, the level design and mechanics make it feel fairly linear and at times redundant. Hopping from planet to planet is pretty cool, but when I have to do it in the order the developers want me to, the game feels less personal and, as a consequence,
What you mean the way the developers want you to? That's how they made the game, bro. What? Yo. Oh man, me personally, he's completely ruined the list. The list was fine in the beginning, from like 19 going to like 14, 13 to 11 shaky. Now this top 10, I don't know, bro. Like, you kind of stretching them with these takes here.
Less replayable. The comments don't really help since they basically force you to replay the same levels with a slight twist. Even the power-ups feel more restrictive. You sacrifice your spin jump just to fly slowly, hover slowly, spring jump slowly. The coolest power-up is the red star, and sadly, it's only used in one level. Also, if you truly want 100% this game, you have to collect every star and then do it all over again with Luigi Luigi. But fear not, because when you do 100% this game, you get a postcard. Who keeps doing this? Whose idea is this? In all seriousness, there's so much this game does right. The levels are still fun. Things like the hub world and Rosalina's storybook are really charming. And I'm almost convinced that the aliens came down from Earth to compose this game's soundtrack because it has no business being this good. I still think this is a great game, and I'm glad it exists, but I just prefer the other formats. Super Mario Galaxy 2. It really feels like Nintendo.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Nintendo made the levels in this game by taking what they already had in Galaxy and heavily expanding on it. And we also see this in the power-ups. The Cloud Flower and the Rock Mushroom are actually fun to use.
Both Galaxies. What? Nah, bro. Nah.
And Yoshi also returns with some items of his own. So yeah, this is a more fun game overall, but it sacrifices some of the things that made Galaxy so memorable. The story is much more mundane. Rosalina is replaced by a big Luma, and instead of the Comet Observatory, you get to travel across the galaxies on Mario's face. Now, this hub world does become more fleshed out as you progress through the game, with new faces you meet joining you on your adventure, but it's just not the Comet Observatory. Now, you actually unlock Luigi in the middle of your adventure this time. And then when you collect all the normal stars, you have to collect the green stars, which are hidden throughout the galaxies. A lot of people hate these, but I'll take this over Super Luigi Galaxy any day. My biggest complaint about this game is the final Bowser fight. You just ground pound these little moon-like objects towards him, and it's way too easy. You'd pretty much have to try to lose. Now we're entering the top 5, and leading off, we have Bowser's Fury. All right, grab your pitchforks, maybe a torch, and let me explain. Bowser's Fury is a fairly short game that most people will beat in several hours. I mean, Nintendo decided to bundle it with 3D World because it probably wouldn't sell too well by itself considering its length. However,
But you got this over both Galaxy games. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. U.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
The logic, bro? Make it make sense, bro.
Putting it on this list regardless, because it's a completely new story that plays like every other game on the list. The reason it's this high is because it's an absolute blast for every single second you're playing it. There are constantly new ideas being thrown at you, and it's pretty much never boring with how many different objectives and types of sections there are. I love the idea of having one big giant level because it's great at letting you play at your own pace the way you want to. The final boss fight is also insanely cool. The way you're able to play as a giant cat version of Mario without being too overpowered and making the boss fight too easy is a perfect balance at making this one of the most interesting boss fights in any Mario game. It literally takes the entire big level of Bowser's Fury and makes it a boss arena. It's crazy. Basically, for what it
Oh, God. Oh, man. This guy here, bro. I mean, it's cool, but, like, oh, man. This list, bro.
close to being the perfect Mario game with this level of creativity. However, how short it is, I just can't justify putting it any higher. Number 4 is Super Mario World, and this is the highest 2D Mario game on this list. Super Mario Bros. 3 pushed the NES to its absolute
great game. Probably out all the games that I mentioned before that should be top 10 and should be top 5 that I've argued these past couple minutes in this video. This game does deserve to be up there with them. Now, this high, no. I do believe it's top 10, but definitely not better. It's better than New Super Mario Bros. U. It's definitely better than that game. Is it better than Wii? You can make an argument, but both Galaxy games, I don't know about that one, bro.
limit. And this game is what you get when you take a lot of those limitations away. The game obviously has better graphics, but you also have 96 levels across a massive interconnected map filled with tons of cool secrets. It also introduced Yoshi for the first time ever. Miyamoto had envisioned Mario riding a dinosaur since the very first Super Mario game was in development, and in this game, his dream finally came to life. Yoshi is such a cool addition, and there's a reason he's in pretty much every Mario game nowadays. The mechanics of this game function extremely well too, and the movement might just be the best across every 2D Mario game, considering how fluid it is. However, the main charm of this game comes from its presentation and overall vibe. The new Super Mario Bros. Games kind of just blend together and are somewhat forgettable at times, but this game stands out from the rest. From the 16-bit graphics, to the music, to even the sound effects, so much of this game is just simply iconic, and it makes the game a joy to go back to and play today. This game's level of personality is something that's been missing from 2D Mario basically since, and I really hope we see it return in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Coming up next is Super Mario 3D World. How is this number 3? Because it's fun. New Super Mario Bros. Wii added 4-player co-op and made that game an absolute blast. This game did it for a 3D Mario title. Obviously, this game was going to be more linear than the other 3D Mario games, but it doesn't really take away from that experience. While you have to play the game level by level, completing each world in order, you don't care because the developers are actually creative geniuses. This game introduces so many new ideas, so many interesting concepts. Before you can even become bored of a level, you're already starting the next level, which is
3D World though, it's a cool game, but over both Mario Galaxies?
equally as fun and creative as the last one. Anything and everything you think of, the developers have put into this game. Just look at the double cherry. This was originally a glitch, and the developers were like, I don't know why there are 2 Marios, but put that in the game too. And of course, you can experience this joy of the game with 3 other people. 3D World doesn't have a deep story, but it also doesn't pretend to be a tear-inducing masterpiece. I think the music is also a perfect example of this. While Galaxy went all out with an orchestra, this game uses a lot of jazz music. It's just very upbeat, basically serving to remind you that you're playing a Mario game. So jump around, grab a Super Bell, and have fun. When considering why we even play video games, and when a game is as fun as 3D World is, I think it's completely fair to give this title the 3rd spot on this list. The second highest Mario game on this list, Super Mario 64. This game is a bit of an acquired taste because it's the first 3D Mario game. The movement can feel clunky and the camera can be downright horrendous at times.
Okay, he got this right. Now, the one game I really haven't mentioned outside of really 64 is Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey should be number 1. Me personally, after playing that game, I think that is the best Mario game up to date. Yeah, that's just my opinion. It is the best Mario game ever to be released.
But weirdly enough, as you process through the game, it starts to feel like you're in full control. It certainly doesn't have the most natural feeling movement of any Mario game, but it also has the most precise movement. Because of how difficult the game is to master, it may be the most satisfying. The main appeal of Mario 64 though, is that you can play the game at your own pace. As long as you get the required amount of stars, the game really doesn't care where they came from. And because of that, this perhaps might be the least linear Mario title. It is also your own experience. There's thousands of ways to beat this game, including cheating. Yeah, this game is broken, and I love it. There's something about collecting a star in a way that you just aren't supposed to that just feels so rewarding. The amount of exploits and glitches this game has, coupled with the fact the movement is so precise, makes this game a speedrunner's paradise. In my opinion, this is the most replayable Mario game because even though you've collected all the stars, you can experience the game in a completely different way. Honestly, this game is definitely not perfect and not as accessible to new players as a lot of other Mario games. But it's also like a beautiful accident. We're never getting anything like this ever again. The biggest disappointment with this game is the fact that Nintendo botched 2 opportunities to remaster it. The DS version is fun and definitely offers some cool additions, but playing a 3D platformer on a D-pad just isn't great. However, the 3D All-Stars version is just straight up lazy. Aside from the HD upscale, it's just a version of the game from 1997 that had removed some of the popular glitches and exploits. They didn't even bother to make the camera better at all. They could have done so much. The devs originally wanted to make the game 2-player, and they could have finally made that possible. I think they could have made L finally real. Honestly though, even if you haven't played this game and didn't think it was for you, I recommend giving it a second chance because it can take a bit of time to appreciate. Hell, I'm a 21-year-old who was born in 2002 and didn't play the game until I was 18 years old in college. I have no nostalgia for this game whatsoever, and I still have these feelings for this game. So if you haven't played it, give it a second chance, take a bit of time to appreciate it as the overall masterpiece that it is. All right, the final game, the greatest Mario game of all time. I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting anymore. It's
Odyssey.
Super Mario Bros. 2 Game of the Year Edition. That's right, baby, 35 years in a row.
Yeah.
For real though, while Mario 64 is my favorite Mario game, I wouldn't say it's the best. It definitely has its problems and just isn't for everyone. The Mario game that I think is the best, however,
Odyssey.
is Super Mario Odyssey. This game lets you have your cake and eat it too, because quite literally, it has a little something for everyone. You have an actual story like Galaxy, while also having 3D Mario return to form with its sandbox collectathon gameplay. The worlds are also so creative and fun to explore. You can travel to the remains of our ancient ancestors. You can hang out with Mario's ex-girlfriend. Yeah, they brought her back. Oh, Ruined Kingdom? Yeah, that's pretty boring. Just kidding. There's a freaking dragon! It's literally like you're playing Skyrim now. And the movement is the icing on the cake. Sometimes it's just fun to go to New Donk City and jump around and do some wall kicks. Pair that with the ability to throw Cappy and bounce off of him. It's just amazing. This game also cares so much about Mario and his legacy. The Mushroom Kingdom comes back, and look at the outfits. The 8-bit and 64 costumes are just so cool, but so many of them are also niche references that most people wouldn't even recognize or care about, but they included them anyways. The one thing I don't like as much about Odyssey is the moons. Getting a moon from completing a difficult obstacle isn't too satisfying when I just got a moon from ground pounding a shiny spot in the dirt like 5 seconds ago. But honestly, I think this just boils down to personal preference. I haven't even talked about the capture mechanic. Instead of having just a few new power-ups, everything is a power-up. Having Mario turn into a dinosaur was insane. And then he becomes an actual human, which is somehow infinitely weirder. The genius of the capture mechanic becomes so apparent at the end of the game when you, spoiler alert, get to play as Bowser. Having Mario rescue Peach while scratching and fire breathing to their escape as Bowser might be one of the greatest moments in any Mario game ever. The capture ability alone has so much potential, and I'd love to see what else they do with it if only we ever got a sequel to this game. Anyways, that's my ranking for every mainline Mario game.
Alright, that's it. Guess cool video. Cool video by Switch Stop, but the rankings do not agree. But I think both both Galaxy games should be top 5. 64 Odyssey should be in there as well, and Wii. Yeah, Wii should be up there. So we both Galaxy games, Odyssey and 64. Those are the best Mario games ever, in my opinion. But if you have a different list outside of me and both me and Switch Stop, let me know down in the comments below. I'm interested in seeing you guys, reading you guys' opinions on these Mario games. I will always, with a burning passion, still hate New Super Mario Bros. 2. That coin system, I hated that, bro. Always will. Always will. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. This list, if you want to call it a list. Yeah, man. It's tricky. It really is tricky, because even though I personally don't agree, I know some people will agree with this list, and I guess it really is up to opinion of what games you like more and what games you don't like. I know at least everyone, at least I think everyone has a kind of sort of similar opinion to games such as like New Super Mario Bros. 2. I don't like the game. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's it for this video. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. See ya.